This is Tupalo Paul. It's a gambling sequence that I think has some interesting work regarding culling, I guess, in front of a spectator. So basically, you could take the deck and you can legitimately have it shuffled here. And what you're going to do is cull everything. So the queens, the kings, and the aces will get culled down. So I'm down jogging everything that is a king, a queen, and an ace in front of the spectator. So when I'm sort of, this is a bit exaggerated, but in that scenario, I guess I would like to spread to show what I have, but basically I could just strip this out, add this to the top, and I've basically now just culled out all of those cards. So I think that that's pretty good for culling out those cards. I think it looks pretty convincing and it's pretty easy to do. Now what you're basically going to do is you're going to have everybody take a quarter of the deck, and you're going to take one cover card, and everybody's going to shuffle. You just got to keep track of this one. So people shuffle, yada yada, and then this is going to be legitimately shuffled by a spectator. He's going to shuffle yours, and you're going to then shuffle it again, as if to make it look like you don't want the one that you shuffled to be suspicious. Then you're going to have everybody take their cards, and you're going to do a little memorization. So what you want everybody to do is place them in an order which makes them easier to remember. And I'm going to do queen, king, ace, queen, king, ace, queen, king, ace, queen, king, ace, and my cover card, the 4, and everybody puts it down like so. And now what you're going to do is you're basically going to just have someone, someone's going to pick the card, and they're going to go like this, and you're going to say, oh, it was a 10, what's the next card out? Maybe they'll get it right, maybe they'll get it wrong, but the point is it's not that easy to remember. Let everybody do that. Assemble the pack. This is a face-up shuffle, keeping top stock. That goes to the bottom. So it looks like you have a pretty mixed-up deck. Now what you're going to do is a little bit of a gag. You're going to say, I'm going to locate, you can name any 4 of a kind, and I'm going to locate all of them. And I can tell you exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look through the cards and memorize them all right now. You're going to name any 4 of a kind, and I'm going to tell you exactly where they are. Would that be worth $1? They say yes, and you say they say the 3s, and you say the 3s are in my right hand. Let's take a look. And it's a gag, but it's just a little bit funny. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and finally the 4 3s. And that's funny, yada, yada, yada. Now you're going to say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal 4 poker hands, and I'm going to make it look like the 3s are coming off of the top, but they're going to actually come off of the bottom, but it's going to look like they're coming right off of the top. Is that worth $1? Yeah, it's worth $1. What if I could do it with one hand? Would that be worth $2? Yeah, okay, it's worth $2. So now you're going to say, okay, pick a hand, not my hand, but any of the other hands. So let's say they said 3. So you go 1, 2, 3. Then this goes to you. Don't turn it face up. I just did a check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now they lost that. Now you're going to say, now that would be a pretty good hand if we were playing poker, but if we were playing poker, would you bet $3 if this was not would you bet that this would be the best hand on the table? And they'll say yes or no. How about the second best hand? You know what? If it's in the top 3 hands, you'll win your $3 back. Except I shuffle stacked with one hand in front of all of you so that this guy would get the queen. So we know he's betting heavy. And this guy got the king, so he's even betting heavier. But of course, I'm a cheat, and you know what I got? I got the 4 aces. So I think that's pretty nice. The only thing I think needs a little bit of work is the initial part where you're doing the culling as to, why that whole thing is sort of taking place. I guess it's sort of under the auspices of, I just want to make sure all the cards are here. We're going to take out some cards at random, and we're going to do a little gambling demonstration on, why you shouldn't bet at cards. So that might be the way to go. But I definitely think it's a nice gambling routine and certainly pretty compelling as far as talent with a deck of cards and shuffle stacking.